Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited to be doing another plan with me. I have loved using the bullet journal. There's a lot of things that I was able to change, which I love because it's just so customizable. If you haven't seen my bullet journal setup video, I will link it up above, and I will also go ahead and link last month's video, which was a June plan with me. So opening up the notebook now, you guys may remember, if you saw it already, that our theme for last month was this cool pineapple theme, which was perfect for summer. I've mentioned before on my channel that my family and we kind of have an affinity for like pineapple and pineapple prints, so I just thought it was very fitting that my first monthly themed spread would have pineapples. So I don't want to do too much of an in-depth flip through, but I do kind of want to show you guys a little bit of how my notebook looks at the end of the month. So obviously we didn't have a lot of things going on, and that's just because I'm so far in my pregnancy that there really was no point in trying to schedule anything because I just didn't feel like doing anything, to be honest. My social tracker is alive and kicking, but I have not filled it in yet because today is actually the 30th, and I will fill it in later. My habit tracker, I actually did most of these and I did pretty good. It was just actually sitting there and filling in these boxes and trying to keep up with this pattern. I think that's what kind of threw me off and what made me not want to do it. So I definitely have new ideas for next month. My post tracker, it also didn't finalize the way that I wanted it to, so I'm going to do a different version of it for next month. Moving on to my weekly spreads, I was really focused on having my to-dos for the week, my meal planning, and my shopping, and a section for notes. I never once used the notes or the next week, so I ended up not using it anymore. See, you have the next week there again, it's blank. So I kind of just gave that up, and I tried different spreads each time. So this one is up and down, and this one's side to side. And then this one I liked a little bit better because I could see the whole week on one page, and then I could see other things that were important as well on the other. So here I have my weekly events, my shopping, and my meals as usual. And again, didn't use the next week box at all. Because this spread worked so well for me, I kind of did the same thing the next month. I kind of just added a little bit of drop shadows. My pineapples got a little bit better since I figured out how to make sure that the pens don't bleed through and basically look all nasty like that. But other than that, nothing really changed. Again, didn't use the next week box. For the last week of the month, since it did bleed into a new month, I wanted it to do it a little bit differently. So I did the last few days of June on one side and the beginning days of July on the other. And since there was only two, I did go ahead and create a June memories slot. Just something small. I knew we didn't have a lot of things going on, so I knew there wasn't going to be a lot to fill in, but I did fill in every box. I don't have my usual monthly at a glance calendar, but that's again because we're bleeding into a new month and there was just really no reason to. But again, I have my weekly events, and then I have got my to-do list for the days. Obviously I haven't filled in Sunday, and then I've got my meal plans, and then my shopping is there as well. But anyway, all in all, I'm really happy with how my journal turned out. I'm glad that I tried new things every week, kind of figured out what did work for me, what didn't work for me, and things of that sort. And so I'm really excited to just continue to do it and continue to improve my method. So anyway, now that we're done with the flip through, I'm gonna switch you guys over to the voiceover. Hey guys, so jumping right into this month's cover page. For July, I decided that I wanted to go with a nautical theme. I'm so excited that it's July already because that means that baby James will be here any day. My due date is on the 13th, but I'm kind of done. So if he comes a little earlier, I'm okay with it. Anyway, as you guys can probably tell, I went over this with pencil first. And that's just because I'm not an artist whatsoever. My artistry skill set is at a -5. So there's no way that I could have freehanded this with a marker or pen. But all in all, I'm really happy with how it looks. I basically just Google searched, you know, anchor hand drawn and freehanded it from there, and it was easier with the pencil. For the July text, I just pretty much went to Pinterest and I searched nautical fonts, and I just copied it. As you can tell, my phone's right next to me, and that's the reason for that. So next I decided that I wanted to add some color to it. So first I'm taking my zebra mild liner, and I'm sorry, I don't see any color names on them, but this is the brown one that came in my set, and I'll link all the supplies that I used down below if you guys want to check that out. But anyway, next I'm going to go in with my gray zebra mild liner, and I kind of went in for like a scribbled in look, not exactly colored in, just kind of scribbled in, because I just thought it was a better effect. And then the color that's really going to pop is going to be this gorgeous blue color, and this is my Tombow dual brush pen in the color 493. And when I was done, I realized that this is actually the exact same color palette of James' nursery, so this really worked out. Moving on to my monthly spread, I like to be able to look at the entire month at once. So that's why I like to do like the whole month view with the boxes and things like that. It doesn't exactly provide a lot of space, but I like that I can see everything at once. So basically right now I'm just taking my Tombow dual brush pen in the color N15. It's just a nice solid black pen. It's got a nice thicker tip so that when I actually write things in, the boxes are still really nicely defined and it doesn't take away from the information that I've actually put into the calendar. So I'm finishing up the boxes now. As you can tell, I've got two other boxes on the side. The top one on the right hand side there is going to be for my goals, and the bottom one's going to be for my social media tracker. For now I'm working on the title, which is of course the month of July, and I decided to do the same lettering just to kind of keep it a little bit more consistent. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my gray zebra mild liner and just kind of highlight where the days of the week are and the numbers of the days so that they kind of pop out a little bit more. And then I'm just going to go ahead and write in the days of the week, and I'm going to write in all the numbers of the month. This was a rough one, guys, because I needed a lot of boxes, a lot of space this time around, just because number one, it's a long month, and number two, it starts on a Saturday and it ends on a Monday, so that was really difficult. But anyway, I'm just going in and putting in the information for my social media tracker. This month I really want to track my YouTube stats, my Twitter stats, which I'm trying to be more active on Twitter. And of course I want to also make sure that I'm keeping track of my Instagram. And for this month's quote of the month, I chose the quote, "A smooth sea never made a skillful sailor." I just thought it was perfect with the nautical theme that I went for this month. And you know, it's a good quote to kind of keep your heads up. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on. The next page that I'm working on is a master list. It's kind of like my brain dump. I did not made one last month, and I found that I really needed it. I'm that kind of person that like has a bunch of little post-its around and things like that, and I wanted a place where I can put everything and have it be centralized and in one spot that I can go back to and basically not lose track. As you can see, I created little boxes and I'm coloring them in differently, and that's because I want to be able to not just list, things that I need to do that don't exactly have a deadline, but also I wanted to be able to just look and know if that was related to something that I'm working on at home, on my channel, on my blog, something for my kids, or something for me and Justin. The chart that I'm working on the next page is going to be for my post tracker. As I stated earlier, the one that I created last month, it didn't really finalize the way that I wanted it to, so I kind of am doing a different layout this month, and I'm hoping that this time it'll work a little bit better and just kind of give me an overview of what is really important to me. But all in all, I'm really happy with how these two pages turned out. Moving on to the next page, I decided that I needed some tracking for the most important people in my life, which is of course my children. James will be here sometime this month, and of course Alicia is my pride and joy. But anyway, so for James, what I'm going to be tracking is basically his feedings, his changing, and his sleep patterns. And for Alicia, her main focus at this time is her cheerleading squad. From what we understand, she is the only new girl on the squad this year, so she's got some catching up to do. So she's asked for our help, and we're doing what we can for her, making sure that she gets extra practice at home, making sure that I'm available to spot for her. So her tracker is going to be based on what skills she's practicing and what skills she's already mastered, just to make sure that she's on the same page with the other girls. James' tracker is vertical, so as you can see, I've got the numbers 1 through 31 listed down, and then the numbers 1 through 24 listed up top, and that's supposed to stand for the 24 hours in a day. So that's how I'll use this one. And whereas Alicia's, I've got the days listed from 1 through 31 on the top row there, and then the skills I'll put on that column there. But anyway, moving on to my weekly spread, I want to try something a little different this week. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in all my boxes and stuff like that. And once I'm done with that, I'll explain to you guys exactly what each section of this is for. But I think I really like how this one turned out, and I think that you guys would like it too. But anyway, I always post my new weekly spread on my Instagram because I've been trying new things every week. So if you want like different inspiration and stuff like that, you guys can always go to my Instagram to check out what I'm up to that week. But anyway, as you can see, I went ahead and I created an overview because I like to be able to see the entire month up close. I went ahead and I created my weekly to-do list, split between days of course, and I already have the pre-filled boxes. I've got my shopping list, my meals. Of course, I decided to do a water intake and a sleep log, and then I'm going to do a weekly habit tracker instead of the monthly, which I had mentioned earlier. I just didn't like how it turned out. And then of course I've got a weekly view again. This one is just for events or appointments, and I think that this is just going to work a lot better. So right now I'm just filling in like the habits that are most important to me. These are the things that I want to track on a weekly basis, and we'll see how this one works out. Next, I'm taking my gray zebra mild liner, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight a little bit on the calendar and on the different rows since I find it difficult to differentiate. I'm hoping that this will help. And then since I have a little bit of extra space, I decided that I would draw a cute little sailboat just to kind of stick with our nautical theme. I just looked one up real quick. I looked up sailboat doodle on Pinterest, and I just drew it freehand because it seemed simple enough, and I think it was. And I just added a little drop shadow just so it looks a little bit more complete, and I just think it filled in the space perfectly. Of course, I still have that bottom right hand corner, which I didn't realize I would have that much space, so I went ahead and I created a frame with a drop shadow, and I'm going to go ahead and include another little quote, nautical themed of course, to go with our theme. So I wrote in the quote, "We cannot control the winds, but we can adjust our sails." Okay guys, so that's it for the July plan with me. Let me know what you guys think of the theme and the new spreads. Like I stated, you guys can always go to my Instagram to see what new spreads I'm working on for the week. And don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more videos like this. And you can always leave your comments or suggestions for next month's themes down in the comments below. I always read them and I always reply. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!